Twitter is cracking down on accounts deemed to be fake. And in the months of May and June, the company reportedly deleted some 70 million users from its site. Twitter confirmed that number to the Washington Post last week. That's equal to roughly 20% of the site's monthly tweeters. The move came following pressure from lawmakers on Capitol Hill who charged that so-called Russia-linked Twitter accounts swayed the outcome of the 2016 presidential election. For more on this, we turn to Lionel of Lionel Media. All right, Lionel, you're an active Twitter user. Do you trust the company to determine which accounts are truly fake and which are not?
Absolutely not. I don't even know what fake means. I don't know what fake means or fake news. And you know and I know that this is because of the pressure put on Twitter and other social media platforms by Congress. Now, if you don't like something, if I'm reading something and I say, how do I know this is fake? What does fake mean? What does that mean? Is it a fake message, fake news, fake individuals? These aren't real. What if, and you've probably heard about this, some of the bots that were being used, if it recognizes certain forms of variations of Russian text, it immediately eliminates it. But please, I don't want to...
Well, on that very point, Lionel, exactly what I was going to ask you. We know, for example, the British government released a report earlier this year listing some accounts it decided were so-called Russian trolls, relying on analysts from groups like the Atlantic Council. And many of the accounts they named were actually real people who then came up, did various media interviews in person and said, look, I'm real. How can you call me a bot?
Right, exactly. Talk about an identity conflict. But here's the bigger problem. You know, we always say in this country, we have a First Amendment right, the right to free speech, the right to expression. If Twitter represents, let's assume, 80% of all of the news that America gets, and I'm being hyperbolic, but one day it could very well be, and you have 70 million people swept from the theater of public opinion, of expression, because after all, what does Twitter do? Twitter doesn't vouch for this. Twitter doesn't say that the Anya Parampil site is accurate. It just provides the forum. But you can't claim a First Amendment right because it's not the federal government per se that's eliminating this particular means of expression. But many people have suggested that when you go back and you look at the history of Twitter and Facebook and all of these social media platforms that started off with this kind of cool kid in Harvard dorm wearing a hoodie, and lo and behold, this thing grew into this corporate, this monolithic, huge function. For you to suggest that there was no governmental interaction or either seed money or participation is naive. So what we got to ask ourselves is, we might and especially as we consider a new Supreme Court justice, we may very well have to reconsider what the First Amendment means, and that might mean going in and looking at the Constitution in a way that was never envisaged heretofore.
That's a very good point to raise, Lionel, and I think Lionel's Law comes to mind, that the Constitution always lags behind technology. And in about the 30 seconds we have left, if Twitter goes too far with this policy and starts bumping people off the site, might people start turning to different social media platforms?
Absolutely. And the best thing that we can hope for, Anya, the best way is to watch Wall Street react. If you see investor reacting in the negative, watch how this turns. And remember, this is all about the myth of Russian interaction in skewing the 2016 election. Were it not for that myth, that mythology, we wouldn't be talking about this.
And the social media companies might not be so worried about government regulation leading them to crack down in this way. Lionel of Lionel Media, we always appreciate your time.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.